Hey there, everybody. Yeah, I just wanted to do a quick little video on some modification I've done to my Mirka leros sander. I just want to let everybody know before I begin that this isn't my idea. A buddy online that has a Mirka and now a Hilti sander, it was his idea really, so all the credit goes for him. But I wanted to try it and see if it's something that I would like, and that is adding a light to my Mirka leros. So I'm not sure if it's a necessary thing. I know there's Festool has a new light on there. It's Chinese knockoff sanders have had them for years, but it wasn't very expensive, so I thought I'd give it a go. So I bought this light. Drywaller in Hawaii that was talking about it said you always get the ones that are a cob LED, and that's what these are. They're quite narrow in width, so I was able to wrap it around twice on the head, and that was pretty good. So it goes all the way around the sander. It doesn't impede the tilt of it. Works pretty good. But one of the things that it only comes with a short cord that plugs into the battery that I use. It's only about 6 or 8 inches long. So I needed a cord to get from here to the other end where my battery is going to be. Turned out I found it, I guess what's a USB extension cord in my pile of garbage, electronic stuff that I haven't used. I don't even remember what it's for, but it clips into the light here, and I tied it onto the sander. I wrapped up the amount of the cord that I didn't need, and the cord runs all the way out to this end, and there's the other part of the USB cord. So I bought a battery for it. I remember the guy in Hawaii was saying that he was using 5,000 mAh battery. It only lasted a couple hours. So I bought this one. It's 10,000 mAh, yeah. And I figured that that would last me for about 4 or 5 hours. So that's why I ended up getting this one. And I put Velcros on the back and Velcros onto my sander, and it attaches right on there. And actually quite the bond. It's almost hard to get it off, and it's not in my way from when I use it. It's right there. So for this thing to work, you just take the cord and you plug it in. So it's plugged in now, and you can see that the light is shining. The interesting thing about this battery, it's kind of nice. It's got a on-off switch here. So you just plug it in or push it down for a little while, and the light turns off. So the one thing I did notice though, it won't turn back on. I have to unplug it and then plug it back in, and then the light turns on. So if anybody out there is understanding how these things work and have any idea, maybe you can let me know. So how does this thing work? Well, it gives off light, that's for sure. And when you put it up onto a wall, such as this is in my garage, you can't probably see it so much on this video, but it does show up imperfections and whatnot. Is it something that's going to be really beneficial in sanding? I'm not so sure. When I pole sand, what I do is I come into in the old days when I used a pole sander, I would come into the house and I'd find the flat on the wall or wherever it is that I'm sanding, and I'd go at it pretty aggressively. And then I'd go over a second time, a little bit lighter, just to make sure it's nice and clean. And with the Mirka, I do the same thing. When we hand sand afterwards, we light check. When we use quite a bright bulb for light checking, and a condensate bulb would be about 250 watts, 300 watts, somewhere in that range. But we use LED lights that are about 30 watts, 35 watts, quite bright. So it shows up a lot. What I found was when I had the sander without the lights, that we went over it so thorough, there really wasn't a whole lot to hand sand afterwards, other than the angles and tight spots. So with this, is it going to help more? Well, we'll see. One of the problems we've been finding with the sander without a light is that you pick up junk on the wall. It might be a little bit of sand from people walking on the gyprock before it's installed, or some grit, whatever, and it would make kind of little squirrely marks on the wall that we'd have to hand sand out. So maybe with the light, we'll pick up on that before we go too far, and that'll help. I'm not sure. So I think on Wednesday, or this week coming up, in a few days from now, 5 days from now, I'm going to try this light out on a new house, and see how it works, and I'll let you guys know. We'll see. it might be a nice addition, but all in all, it only cost me about 40 bucks to put together, so it's not that big of a deal. Anyways, take care, tell me what you think, and if you know anything about why this thing will shut it off but not turn it on, let me know, because I'd appreciate that too. Thank you.